privacy of information. If you are doing, or if you become a data analyst, all data is within you. Okay, you have the utmost role in respecting other people privacy. Okay, jangan bocorkan. If you are in the analysis, who knows, you might go out and become analyst instead of an accountant. Okay, so all data in your hand, do not abuse it. Okay, and to comply with law. Okay, so the core article of values in data analytics is one, to respect for individual, for fairness and non-discrimination, transparency and explainability, accountability and responsibility. So all of this is very important. However, I would like to highlight on the transparency. So as you know, when we did our analysis, okay, we have so many tools, right? We have Python, we have R, we have Stat Tools, we have SPSS, we have Analysis Toolpad, we have Solver, we have Precision Tree. So there's so many things. Okay, so when we do analysis, okay, we need to be very transparent. Okay, which tools that you use, who are your respondent, and so on. So nowadays we are being flooded with so many statistics, surveys. Okay, top 10 countries, top 10 apalah semua ni, dia begini banyak betul keluar. So all these statistics coming in. For example, so when the statistic coming out, don't simply believe it. Okay, why? Because when we try to do analysis, it depends on how many your respondents. So where do the data come from? Is it reliable? Okay, is it fair? Is there any discrimination? Okay, so it is very important that ethical value is that one is the transparency itself. Okay, and then of course the accountability and responsibility. You are the analyst. You are the one who doing analysis. So all this while during semester we are doing analysis. Do you know what actually you are doing? Itu penting. Your responsibility to do it correctly. Okay, jangan main keluar dekat dalam TV 10 yang terbaik, 5 yang terbaik, top 5, top 10, bottom 10. So all this comes from data, raw data, which you analyze. If you are not doing it properly, okay, you are accountable for this biasness, for this inaccuracy. So it is raw responsibility is very important when we talk about data analytics. So these are the explanation for each of the core. Okay, so I have given you as well the link if you want to read more. So I would suggest you read more so you gain understanding, so that you will know what it is that within this core ethical values. Okay? So these core ethical values will have a bit of adalah you punya exam. So you don't have to memorize. Okay, this is MDPA, this is EU GDPR, so many acronyms, so many abbreviation. So you are not taking law paper. What I need you to is basically remember what are the core ethical values. Okay, so these are the core ethical values. Saya tekan yang silap, saya nak ke belakang. Backspace. Okay, so these are the core ethical values. So you need to understand this so that you can give the right explanation. You can use this as guidance, but please read more so that you will know what actually within this core. Okay, core ethical values. So we have the transparency. Okay, individuals should understand how their data is used. Analytics must be provide understandable insight into decision making and so on. So we have the GDPR. We have the PDPA. Okay, banyak sangat saya kata acronym. Okay. So as analytics become more automated, meaningful human oversight remains in session. Okay, so automated. AI pun boleh menggunakan AI. So we've been using ChatGPT this whole semester. We are using Copilot, and now we know that we have Gemini. Okay, so of course all these things when you ask, please interpret, it will come out. This is the interpretation. So that's what I see in your midterm as well. Okay, ada yang langsung tak bagi the interpretation of the results. Ada yang I'm for sure it is coming from ChatGPT or Copilot. Okay, please listen to me very carefully. You are in the world where AI is everything. If you are not using AI, then you are being left behind. So you need to use it, but you need to use it responsibly. Okay, so I've been teaching you to use ChatGPT and Copilot AI. Okay, chatbot dah. Okay, however, I have told you during midterm exam, I want to see your formula, how you use the formula. You don't have to memorize the formula, you just ask ChatGPT to give you formula. Okay, so when it gives you formula, you need to use your brain. Yeah, it gives you the formula, but you need to know where do you put that formula. So which cell to be used. Okay, because when you ask formula from ChatGPT or Copilot, it didn't actually say that you must use cell A, cell B, because it depends where you put that table. Okay, so meaning that you need to understand what that formula is. However, there are quite several of you who actually give me the answer from ChatGPT. I know it comes from ChatGPT and Copilot. Okay, Copilot and ChatGPT, when you ask them to give you the answer, buatkan table, you copy my question and just paste into Copilot or ChatGPT, it will give you a new table. But let me tell you something. ChatGPT and Copilot can give you formula, but it can never produce a table with formula. Okay, so yang dia bagi you jawapan dalam bentuk angka, numbers, not formula. So that's why some of you kantoi. Okay, when I check your midterm, it is actually numbers and not formula. There's only two ways you get number and not formula. One, of course, you are not using the formula itself. Two, you ask ChatGPT or Copilot to give you the answer. So my intention when I give you the midterm and I let you use ChatGPT and Copilot is that you use them to you ask to give formula, not to give or to produce the Excel table itself. Okay, so siapa yang saya tengok memang mengeluarkan table yang berangka and not formula, you get zero. Okay, simple, tak ada orang kata apa, rayuan, no, tak ada rayuan, zero. Okay, because you are using not just you are not using your head, but you are abusing AI. Okay, so that is big no-no for me. I've been teaching you how to use ChatGPT to help you do the assignment. You are the one doing the assignment. But instead, you ask them to do the assignment, which is totally wrong. Okay, right. Next, we have the practical ethical control here. So what are the things that actually governs the practical ethical control. So you have the bias testing, you have the auditability, the professional training, and you have the governance framework. So there are quite a few in your I give you some extra reading comes from Deloitte, okay, and then we have here International Organization for Standardization. Okay, you don't have to actually memorize. Okay, tak payah nak memorize. Understand. I keep on telling you to understand. And let me tell you something. Please do not meniru or using ChatGPT. So, tiap-tiap semester, pelajar EE02 ditangkap menggunakan handphone ketika final exam. Especially papers which are perlu menghafal. Okay. Apa nama? Perekonomian sektor awam. Okay, so you guys are not within that. So you have a few papers yang mana memang selalu pelajar meniru. Don't take that chance. Once you are caught, you will be suspended for 1 semester. Everything that you took, that paper will not be counted. So dah lah kena extend 1 semester, you are going to extend. Meaning that if let's say you are being caught this semester, next semester you will be suspended. So 1 semester hilang. Extend semester, baru ambil. Okay? So this will give you, the risk is too high for you to do it just to pass. Okay? If you fail, you can just repeat, no problem. There's nothing wrong with failing. Okay? I know that some people have this idea, you are a loser if you fail. Okay? It's not good to fail, of course. You need to put more effort so that you pass. But just because you fail doesn't mean it is end of the world. Just take the paper again. That's it. Don't resort to cheating. Okay. Don't cheat my paper. Okay. Don't you try and do that to my paper. Okay. Okay, and finally, we have the ethical beyond legal. So ethical responsibility goes beyond legal compliance. Okay, professional judgment should be guided by recognized ethical framework. So there are so many ethical framework. The problem with ethics is that sometimes it is not confined by law. Okay, dia macam beretika. Okay, so let's say that you, macam cakap you minum air orang. You sit somewhere, sedapnya air tu, you pun minum. So most likely you won't be jailed for drinking others people water. Okay, but then it's not ethical. Yeah, you should ask first. Okay, can I have this? Then you take. So ethics is a very, not just about law. It's not just about legal, but it's about judgment, professional judgment. About you doing your work, not compromising the data itself. Okay. All right. So that's all for the ethics. Any question? Ada question? Tak ada? Semua ada kat sini ni. Let me see now. Okay. Arifah kat situ. Alright. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Tak ada soalan ni kan maksudnya? Bagi thumbs up tu eh. Alright. So now let's go to your, what time is it now? Mana saya, dia tak mau keluar dari sini ni. Okay. Oh, dia kena tekan ni dulu. Okay. So that's it. Okay. 9:30. Good. Okay.
Doctor, I have a question.
Yes, please.
The answers should be right in point form or essay, doctor?
It depends on the question. Okay, so I'm going to show you the final exam, bukan final exam something like kit so that you will know how it looks like and I will let you know how to answer, whether it's essay form or point form. Okay, so I have prepared like 5. Clear, guys? Okay, again, I'm not giving this to you. Okay, I know some of you might record this, so tak apalah, as long as I'm not recording it and I won't give it to you. Ada yang nak screenshot pun tak ada masalah. So this is an example. So this is not the only question. Ada satu lagi. So this is an example. Here you have 3 questions. Question 1 relates to the one that we did on Excel. Okay, bukan analysis, not data analysis, but not it's not statistic. Okay, for example, we use the analysis tool pack, we use the stat tools, SPSS. No, this is not the one. This is before that. Okay, if you remember, we have project 1 and project 2. So this is basically on project 1. Okay, so you have been appointed as business analytics advisor to an organization, modernizing its accounting and finance operation. Senior management is interested using data-driven insight to enhance efficiency, accuracy, and strategic plan. So discuss how data analytics have transformed the accounting function with reference to big data. So like I said, this is more like a essay, but you can see that it's a 3 marks, so structure. Okay, and I am asking, so this is no not a secret. Okay, so I did ask about big data, so please be ready because I did explain about big data masa awal-awal kelas. Okay, ni I'm going to this one. Okay, please jot down big data, read about big data. Okay, next, examine the application of data analytics in the following functional areas, suggest appropriate tools or method for each. So this one here is very general. My question, I ask you to give me example. Ni ke? Tak, bukan yang ni. Okay, something else. Okay, but I did ask for you to give me example, demonstrable example. So if we want to, what is demonstrable example? Go check Cengage book. That's what the book is for. So if you want to trade, say, I want to trade. How do I give example for something like this? Go check your Cengage book. Okay, penat je beli, bayar $59, but you are not using it. Bila saya suruh pakai, baru nak pakai. No, you can do that. Check how the example is given and you have to understand how. So Cengage book is very good in terms of explaining. I didn't explain, okay? I know in lecture class, I just show you, I demonstrate. You click there, you click here, you get there, you get here. But in Cengage, for every step, it explains to you what is it for. And that is what I'm asking you to do for your final exam. So, but I'm not asking you, or I'm not ask you to demonstrate which button to click. Okay, under the data tab, we have this one. No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking which tool is proper. But in order for you to tell me which tool is proper, okay, you need to explain the example first. You need to give example. For example, under cost and management accounting, give me some example. Remember, we have about material, labor, percentage, berapa persen. So we have the, if I not remember about the bookshelf. So that is actually an example of cost and management accounting example. So you are supposed to give that kind of example. Okay. So how are you using data analytics for that kind of area? Okay. Any question about this so far? Boleh. Faham? Senyap. Boleh? Hello, hello.
Doctor, I want to ask. So, for example, like cost and management.
Boleh.
Somebody is
Doctor, can
asking
you hear me?
something. Yeah, tak clear.
Doctor, sekarang boleh dengar tak?
Boleh tapi
My
masih
voice
tetap
clear?
ada angin. Okay, apa? Try just cakap je.
Doctor, can you hear me now?
Okay, boleh tapi perlahan lah.
Perlahan.
Okay, dah okay.
Sekarang, Doctor?
Dah okay dah.
Okay, Doctor. So for an example, right, so for cost and management accounting, we have learned like a type of tool. So we have to tell, like for an example, like state tool. We can use state tool to calculate this. So how it will be using it.
No, that is not the example. That is not the example I'm asking for. You are supposed to do your own scenario. Faham tak? You are supposed to give me your own scenario for certain, whatever it is that I'm asking for. You give me the scenario, just like in Cengage book. And then you will tell which tool is appropriate for that scenario. So that's why I say, just because you say stat tool is better, not stat tool. Okay, so you are using, apa yang kita belajar itu, aku tak ingat dah. Okay, so there are so many things yang kita belajar kan, nak gunakan if function, we are using the H lookup, the V lookup, okay. So all those things, okay. So the appropriateness of the tool used depend on your own example. Faham tak? You need to provide your own example. Example is not given here. So in order for you to explain which tool is appropriate, give me example. You need to provide example. Demonstrable example. What does it mean by demonstrable example? The one in Cengage. Okay, boleh?
Okay, Doctor. Can understand.
Faham
Thank you, Doctor.
Clear Alright. Okay, so dia macam ni pembahagian markah is something like that. So you have this one, berapa markah ni? So 21, 30 marks. Okay, 30 marks, something like this. Ada 3 soalan. But like I said, this is not the exam question. So the intention is the same. Okay, so this will be example for project 1. Coming from this one is also from project 1. Okay, as a professional accountant working in data-driven environment, you are expected to support management using analytical insight while maintaining ethical and professional standard. Describe, see again, big data. This thing comes out, please read. Okay, and then assess the usefulness of data analytics across the following accounting-related domain, providing suitable example or tool. Okay, so in my question, there is no or. I said, give me an example and suggest the most appropriate tool. Okay, so that's why I say go through Cengage punya book so that you can see how to write example, demonstrable example with numbers. Not, saya tak nak yang general example. I need a very specific example. That's why you were given 3 hours for 3 questions. Okay, so it's something like this. Nampak lebih kurang sama je kan? Nampak? Okay, but tapi yang ni lain lah, ni strategic cost management. This one is cost and management accounting, and then we have here audit planning and fraud detection. So this one here is assurance and audit services. So even though it's the same discipline, tapi the focus is different. So you have to wait for yours masa exam nanti to see which one that I ask you to do. So you need to be aware of this what do you call it, discipline, bukan discipline, the scope. Okay, how do you write demonstrable example or this kind of so again you are supposed to explain tools. Okay, memang you have to explain tools, but in order for you to explain the tools or to choose the tool, you need to actually do your own example. So I've already dah pecah soalan ni I'm leaking the question. I'm asking you to do example. So you can prepare yourself to go through some examples so that you can use it in your final exam. Which one? You don't know. But understand. If you can understand, that's fine. You can put any numbers. Okay, apa kalau for example, if I ask you to do some costing punya example, then you have to go for, ingat masa belajar MA, direct material, direct labor, and then we have overhead, those kind of things. Okay, if I ask you to do financial accounting, so what are the things that reporting, we need to prepare. Ada satu engage punya soalan where we do the financial report. Okay, untuk dapatkan profit or loss. Do you remember that? Okay, that is still the same thing. Okay, so this is question 1, example of question 1, which relates to your project 1. Next, I have another 2 question that relates to your project 2. So if you remember, kita baru je habis project 2. So project 2 is about statistical analysis. It's about how you start to clean the data. Transformation nama dia transformation extract, transform and load. So for all those that you have learned so far, under statistic punya tools, okay, we start with R. And we have SPSS, and then we have analytical analysis to pack. Analysis to pack, and then we have Excel minor. Excel minor tak sebut pun kita apalah because it's kind of the same. And then we have the stat tools, we have the precision tree, we have Python, we have Power BI, we have Tableau. So many things here. So you need to construct something. I'm asking you to construct something. The word design tu memang ada. You are required to design. Design what? Itu you kena tunggu masa final. I'm asking you to design something. So you need to understand the process. What do you do when you get your raw data? Okay? And I ask you, okay, this is raw data. Do with it. Do what? First of all, we need to check for the date. Remember? And then see, is there any missing values? What else? And then we transform it to certain degree, make another column. Okay, so but you are not going to discuss that, saying that, okay, add another column, using the function, add another column, then we do this. No, tell me about your example. You already given me example, so you are going to explain based on your example. What do you actually need to do? Okay, and then present your label workflow diagram, a structured technical outline, prepare a concrete examples. You see, so something like that. So for example, perform a state transformation, check statistical procedure. So statistical procedure adalah di mana we do hypothesis. Okay, we have the hypothesis, and then we do the analysis. What kind of analysis do we have? We have regression, we have correlation, we have apa itu, descriptive analysis, descriptive data mining, okay, and so on. Those are the things, and you have to explain all that and give me an example. Okay, and finally here, critically explain the role of each stage using analytical accuracy, reliability for each recommend a specific tool. Techniques. Tool tu apa? Tool tu yang software yang kita gunakan. Python, Power BI, Tableau, toolpack, and so on. So statistical technique, correlation, regression, decision tree, those are the meaning of techniques. Descriptive, those are descriptive statistical technique. Okay. Ada soalan? Okay, so this is another one. Okay, macam soalan nombor 2, okay, for your project tu. An accounting analytics team works with large-scale financial data set sourced from automated digital platform. To support reliable statistical analysis and reporting, the firm plans to formalize its analytic approach by introducing standardized analytical component and control. You have been asked to design. Again, the word is there. Okay? Ensure data readiness, statistical validity, ongoing quality assurance. So you are to explain data preparation and transformation, statistical testing and validation, analytical computation, and insight generation. So insight is actually your visualization. Okay, so you can tell a bit about Power BI, Tableau, which one you think. If you think this is better, then you should tell that. Okay, so you may present your answer using label architecture, real diagram, decision logic model, or structural technical outline, supported by concrete example, again, of analytical operation or statistical function within each model. So this question, like I told you, this paper actually has one of the paper that has a very high difficulty, C6, the highest actually. I don't know if there are any other paper within our program which have C6. Most I heard is C4 or C5. Ours start at C5 and then C6. So your final exam is C6, which is to design. You are supposed to design, to construct, to build. So those are the things. And it is not just statistic, it's something to do with audit, MA, FA, apa lagi ada? What else do we have? MA, tax, okay, and so on. Okay, so explain how each module, recommend appropriate tool, uh, and so on. Okay, so this is for project 2 question. Okay, project 2. Meaning project 2, I mean yang memerlukan all the information, all your understanding on project 2. This one here. Next. So I just provide one question for your ethics. So I want to make sure you understand what I will ask for your ethics. Okay, I can't remember how many question I asked, but ada satu je, tapi dia ada pecah-pecah. So you have here a global organization is scaling up its use for analytics, automatic decision system. As part of this expansion, the organization must ensure that its data practices remain legally compliant, ethically sound, socially responsible, while still supporting business performance. You have been appointed to lead the organization responsible analytic and data governance initiative. So what are you asked to do? You are to develop principle-based ethical model. So remember just now that we learned, we have the core ethical values, put it inside. Your model should translate ethical principle into practical action and control. You are supposed to tell what are the action needed. So in my notes, there is no this kind of thing, but I did supply to you links to reliable resources which you can actually read. So read, understand, don't memorize. Understand. Core ethical values ada 4 sahaja. So there's no need for you to go all the way to go, make it very hard there, this one here. Core ethical values in data analytics. So yang ni very important. Alright. Okay, so we have here analyze how differences in regulatory environment and jurisdictional requirement. Okay, so we have the Malaysia PDPA. We have the, okay, let me check. This one here, you have the European General Data Protection Regulation. You have the Malaysia PDPR. I can't remember what is PDPR. Okay, Protection Data R Regulation. Protection Act of Malaysia, PDPR. So I've given you the official. So this, when we talk about ethical model, okay, the action, this one, regulatory environment, so that's the one that you need to actually explain. Okay, design governance and oversight mechanism that ensure accountability and transparency. Explain how ethical analytics practices reduce risk, bias, unfair outcomes, and discrimination. So this one again talks about this one. Okay, fairness. Fairness ni, and we have transparency just now. Okay, so we have discrimination, unfair, fairness, fairness, bias semua tu. So this is the things that, okay. So that's it. Any question?